everybody! So there looks like there's a little bit of a delay, but everything is working. And I did double check that I am on retherapy group tonight. So yay. I'm seeing a bunch of you starting to pop in. So hello, hello. I did link the template ahead. So we are going to be painting a leprechaun hat. You guys can see that right there. So it has a couple of little shamrocks. We'll have some fun. Hey Cece, hey Rhea, hey Diane. I'm gonna go ahead and flip. And hey Cheryl, how are you? Okay, just making sure that that's scrolled down. So we're gonna be using some metallic, lots of different shades of green, and some black and white, of course. Black and white's kind of just always. Let me move my sleeves up just a little. Hey Linda, how are you? So I saw that the text messages are working, or at least mine did. Yay. So that's so exciting. I'm so excited for that. Let me grab a paint palette here. And you guys, I get these paint palettes from the dollar store, just an FYI. And we are going to go ahead and get painting. I'm going to get a large brush. This is a 3/4 of an angle brush. And I think I'm going to do, we're going to do electric lime. This is a cute, really cute base color. Hey Carol, how are you? So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So this is electric lime with by Delta Ceram Coat. Let me get this brush just a little bit wet. I like to get my brushes just a little bit wet. Hey Teresa, and hey Mary, and hey Carol. I think I said hi to Carol, but I can't remember. But anyways, you get a double hello if not. So I'm just loading the brush and taking it. We're gonna go up over this arch and then pull over. I do paint my wood with a primer, a white primer, or just white paint. It does just as good. I do that so that the paint colors stand out just a little bit better, in my opinion. So that is how that works. And then just like a coloring book, we're gonna get the hard spots first, and then we get to be crazy with the paint and just start painting. Now this one I'm gonna do is a little bit on beginner, well, probably intermediate, between a beginner and, you know, medium and knowing, so intermediate. We're gonna add a little bit of shading, not a lot, just a little, and we're going to add some polka dots, some glitter, because you know we gotta glam this sucker, gotta glam the hat up. So we're just gonna get this nice and painted. This electric lime goes on pretty good. We'll see if we need a second coat. Green can be really tricky sometimes. Green is one of those colors that it looks like you're doing really good and then it starts drying and it can be a little splotchy. So don't worry, that second coat always goes on better and it always makes it look nice and pretty. Oh good! I love painting bees. Bees are fun. Cece, I believe so. I just gotta figure out I gotta talk with Lori and figure out exactly, you know, what we're wanting to paint and different things like that. I have a couple of ideas of some cute things that we can paint. Basically what it will be is I'll give you a wood sign template, like how my laser cuts. And I should have saved one of my signs, but I just primed every single one of them today. But they're just a wood etched one. I'll probably prime them for you guys just so it will make it easier. But yeah, we're working out something. Okay, I'm sorry, my big hand's in the way. So I'm just taking the brush and I'm just going around these shamrocks. I'm not too worried if we get a little bit out of whack with the paint, because our edge line, or our lines would cover it up. So our detail lines would cover it up. On top of that, we're painting green with green, so that will help a little bit too. But we'll get it all worked out. So right here, I'm just loading the brush, arching my brush. When I say arching, I'm kind of pulling it. Hey Nancy, how are you? Same thing again, we're gonna pull down and then we're gonna arch. There we go. Okay, right here we're gonna do the same thing. So I just loaded the brush. A lot of your detailing and your edge work, you're going to be loading your brush a lot more, and then you'll come back through and smooth it out. And you guys, if my fan is driving any of you guys nuts, let me know and I will turn it off. It just helps with drying the paint a little bit faster, so I don't have to use that heat gun as much and blow your guys' eardrums out, because I know it can be a little loud. Alright. Okay, while that is drying, I'm going to go around and do the edges. So these were cut before we figured out how to do our MDF the way that I wanted it done, and the nice MDF. So these are on that thicker ply. It's oh, I'm trying to think of the name of it, but anyways, it's a little bit thicker. It's not quite 1/2 inch, but it's not quite, it's bigger than 1/4. So it's right in between there. But if you're looking for a really good alternative to the MDF, because some of the MDF places are just not good. They don't have the good MDF anymore. That's what made me kind of start looking, and then I ended up finding a local, somewhat local, I shouldn't say hardware store, lumber yard, and they carry the MDF for me, and it's the good MDF, and so I was able to get quite a few pieces, and we tested it out, and the laser loves it, I love it, no more yucky smells, and everything else. So we're back to MDF. So those of you that have bought things in the woods a little bit different, thank you for being patient with me, because we were trying out different types of wood, trying to get something good for the customers. But we're back to MDF, the same wood that I've been using. In my opinion, even better quality MDF than what I was using. So alright, so I'm just painting these edges real quick here. Alright. Let me rotate my hand down. Hey Debbie! Okay, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun for just a second. When using the heat gun, remember, always use low speed, or the low speed, never really use high. It will bubble your paint, and also move pretty fast with it. Okay, you guys, I was so excited. I got so much done. The girls were in school today. It was wonderful. No distractions. They'll be home tomorrow. So anyways, we're supposed to have this big snowstorm that's gonna hit. Supposedly it was supposed to hit last night, and we didn't even get a dusting. I don't even think it hit us. So there was a little clump in paint that it was getting off. So anyways, you guys getting storms? How's the weather where you guys are at? Just getting a little more paint. I think where Susan's at, they actually got the storm more than us here in Chicago. Whoops. Move that. Alright, so I'm just going to get this edge again. And that second coat, you guys, it always goes so much faster. I don't know what it is, but it does. Sleet. Ugh, I hate sleet. Because that turns to ice, and that's no fun. So, yeah, nothing here yet. Yeah, I was so excited. I got laundry done. I got all these blanks behind me done. Even played with the laser a little bit. It was great. Great. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. So foam plate, we're just going to add the excess paint that we had from the palette. I'm going to throw it on here. And we're just going to add a little bit of detail and shading, even though we're going to do some polka dots. I wanted to add some detailings to make this hat look a little more three-dimensional. Sorry guys, I got paint on my hands. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to go with Palomito paint. I hope I'm saying that right. P-A-L-M-E-E or M-E-T-T-O. Palomito? I don't know. I'm horrible at names, so anywho, that's what we're using. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go with a 1/4 angle brush. And what we're going to do is kind of create an ombre effect. I'm going to put some water down here just to help with that. So I'm going to get the edge of the brush with the lighter and the back of the brush with the darker. Then what we're going to do is go back and forth, creating kind of an ombre effect. I'm going to grab just a little more green. There we go. Hey Kathy, how are you? Oh, so jealous. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of create a nice kind of dimensional look, shading look to our hat here. And it doesn't matter that your paint's a little bit tacky, it will still go really well. It's almost better to have it a little bit wet. And you can see, maybe my light will behave, you can see the side that doesn't versus the side that does. It just kind of gives that nice brightness shadowing effect, basically, a shading. So same thing here. And then you guys, I got these teal brushes from Walmart. They were in a little package together. together like a little plastic package. They are awesome. They've become one of my favorites to use. I want to say the package was like $5, so not bad for brushes. I'm all about the cheap because I beat these brushes up so bad. So same thing here again. I'm gonna just come straight down here. Nice shading. Now another thing that you could do if you didn't have all the greens is you could take the electric green, add some white to it to get it to a lighter stage, and it will give you that same effect. Love the hat, thank you. And then just so you guys know, that template for the hat is in the link below. It's that Dropbox link that I shared with you guys, and you get that free template for here for being in the cubbies. All right, so that is done. Get that cleaned out the brush there. Okay, I'm going to leave that because we might actually be using that to do a little bit of detailing with the shamrocks. I'm going to go ahead and do this shamrock, a darker shamrock. So I'm using just normal green. And I think I'm going to bump up the brush. I'm going to bump up the brush to a 3/8 of an angle brush. Just getting that wet a little bit. It just makes the brushes a little more pliable than working with the hard bristles of your brush. So right here, all I'm doing is doing a big arch, almost like we're making a rainbow. But I'm letting my fingers move around. And if it gets hard and tight, you can always stop and then meet again. And once more, we're going to arch it and pull back. Now I'm going to have to meet this again because I got a little bit of drag with my brush. So I'm going to load the brush again and come back to it. And that's going to help with getting those little spotty pieces that happen, okay? Same thing, we're going to kind of reverse rainbow here. So load the brush, arch it, and pull. There we go. It's really good working with angle brushes. Flat tip brushes do a really good job too. But I prefer the angle. I just feel like I can get into areas a little more without having to switch brushes. Alright. Okay, I'm going to get the edge of this. And you can always use your pinky as a stability. I use it a lot when I first began, holding my pinky out and then doing an arch. That helped a lot too, with just getting that nice straight line, not feeling so bumpy and everything else. I tend to not have to do it as much, but when you're first beginning, that pinky becomes your best friend sometimes. Every now and then you'll see it pop out though. Practice always makes perfect, for sure. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many signs I have painted at this point anymore. Alright, so this green is about done. Just going one more time around. There we go. Okay, I am going to do some shadowing with this one as well. So I'm going to just grab some of my green here. We're going to put it on the plate. I'm going to go back to my 1/4 angle brush. Actually, I might go down just a little bit. Okay, this is a smaller 1/4 angle brush. It just doesn't have as wide of a width. It's still the same length, it's just a little bit smaller this way. So I'm going to go with this one instead. I'm going to get the electric green and the darker green, and we're going to ombre these together. I'm going to grab just a little bit of water there. There we go. And the reason why I add just a little bit of water is it kind of makes it a little bit more runny and a little bit more where you can move it around. It's a little more pliable, I guess, is a word you can use. It just glides a little bit better when doing the shadowing. You could also use paint thinner type material as well, but I just figured water works pretty well for me, so that's why I use it. So I'm just going around these. And this is just giving some more dimension to the shamrock. It's kind of giving the shamrock some more personality, making the leaves kind of stand out just a little bit more. And really, it doesn't do too much more in time-wise to do this. It just, but I feel like it really adds to your piece. And I know a lot of people are super intimidated with it, but I promise you, you'll love it when you start doing it. Take a chance and do it. I promise you'll appreciate it a lot more. Okay. Just grab a little bit of that. There we go. Okay. So you can kind of see from the hat where we've got that shadowing seam with the shamrock. Okay, so I'm just cleaning out this brush. And then we can have some fun. Some more fun. We're gonna go with this one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with Gecko. And for this next one right here, let me throw this extra green in here. Now you don't always have to go with a lighter color too. You can go with a darker when you're ombreing and have that on the edge too. It looks really pretty as well. However, I'm not going to be using it, so might as well put our paint away. Hey Carol, how are you? Thank you, Linda. Okay, so now to gecko. I'm going to use that little bit bigger of the angle brush. And you guys, I do put just a little dab of Dawn soap or dishwasher soap, dish soap in my water. It just seems to help clean your brushes a little bit more. Hey Mel, thank you. Okay, so I'm just loading the brush. You can see about how much paint I get on there. We're gonna do an arch, another arch. This one I'm gonna come back. I wasn't making the wrist have all the warms and fuzzies. There we go. And then we'll just pull the paint back out, and that smooths out the extra paint that we have on the brush. All right. So same thing here. Arch there. I'm going to come here and pull this way, and then just pull the extra paint out. You guys, I used to see so many painters that would just paint straight in a line with assembly lining. I can't do that. I have to move mine. My wrist doesn't really like it if I'm painting straight all the time. So if you're one of those that have to move, don't feel bad about it. All right. Okay, just smoothing out the extra paint here. All right, I'm gonna throw that over by the heater. I'm going to grab the heat gun. You guys, I got this heat gun from Harbor Freight, 15 bucks. It's amazing. Just make sure that you work fast with it. You don't leave it too long in one spot. And you always use that low setting, like I said before. All right. One more time. We're just gonna throw some of this gecko on here. Now for paint, you guys, I really do prefer the Delta Ceramic Coat paint. It's one of my favorites. The next probably to follow is Deco Art Americana paint. And then after that, it's kind of a toss-up on paint. I will say Michael's brand paint, the Craft Smart, I have not had the best luck with it. It's very watered down, in my opinion. So I just don't care for it as much. I feel like you have to do a lot of coats. Thank you, Sue. It's taken a lot of practice, I'm not gonna lie, but there is definitely a technique to it, for sure. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead, throw some of this gecko green on our plate again. I tend to always over pour with my paint because I'm used to painting in big batches. So, thank you. Kathy, I love that you're loving this. Makes my heart happy. I love being able to teach. go back with that smaller 1/4 of an angle brush. And that's what is kind of funny, like I said, you guys, because these are both 1/4 angle brushes, and as you can tell, even with the brush line, they do look the exact same. One's just a little bit thicker. So when I'm doing these detail lines, I do like to use the smaller of the 1/4. So when you hear me using both both of the things, they're still angle brushes, they're still 1/4. It's just different people make them a little bit different. So this particular one is from Plaid. I've had this one for quite a while too. I'm going to go ahead and use the Palomino and move this out just a little bit. Grab a little bit of water. So the light on the top, darker on the bottom for this scenario. We could go darker too. We're just giving that dimension to the leaf, like I had said before. And it's okay to do this when it is a little bit wet. It actually kind of makes it smoother. It doesn't grab as bad. So you don't have to water down the paint as much too. I mean, really the longest part of this, honestly, is going back and reloading your brush. But I think it just gives that extra pop. And unfortunately, the camera sometimes doesn't like to show the extra pop as much as it does in person. Okay, so now here's something I'm going to do that's going to be a little bit different, but fun. I'm going to go with my Zero liner brush. I'm going to get it just a little bit wet. And we're going to first go with the darker Gecko. And we're going to make our little swirl. This is the little shamrock, clover, whatever you want to call it, little swirl that we got going on here. But then what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with the lighter of the Palomino, and it's still going to give us that fun detail. Give a little more shimmer and everything else to it. Okay, I'll bring that up for you guys so you can see it too. So you guys can kind of see, oops, I don't know which way I'm going. A light versus dark kind of effect there. That's what we're looking for. So I'm just cleaning out this liner brush. Okay. Move our styrofoam plate out of the way. Now, when I'm using, I like to use the styrofoam plates versus the paper plates. I don't feel like the paint dries as much when doing that. So that's why you'll see me, I was using paper plates, but now I use the foam plates. Because the paper doesn't, the paper absorbs, the foam just doesn't seem to as much. All right, let's go with this yellow. Now I'm going to do metallic on this, but the only problem with the metallic is it needs kind of a base coat. The reason why it needs that is because with the metallic it shimmers differently depending on which way, so you need a good undertone for it. We're only going to do one coat of it, and then we'll go with the metallic and then hit some black. But just kind of wanted to explain what we were doing there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead with the yellow. We're going to arch. arch again. If you need to do a couple of arches, that's fine. Sometimes I just don't get that arch that I like with my brush, and that's okay. Painting is fun. Don't try and be a perfectionist, because I promise you, I used to like just overthink all of it so much with being a perfectionist with painting. And a lot of the times with your detailing and your shadowing and everything else, it hides all of your little whoopses and imperfections and everything else. That's why I like to show you guys when I do make little whoopsies and stuff like that, because once we get those detail lines on, nobody's going to see it. You may know that it was there, but they're not going to see it anymore. And honestly, you won't either. And if you make big oopsies, baby wipes. They're the best thing in the world for a painter. Really, I think for any crafter, you've got to have baby wipes in your craft room. Okay, so right here, just going to hit that. Alright, there's a little itty bitty piece right here, so I'm just going to use the edge of my brush. Now if you got really nervous, you could go down to the liner brush. But you guys, secret to me, I hate changing brushes. I'm lazy when it comes to changing brushes, so if I can get away with it, I will. Kind of almost liking this yellow. I think it's really cute. I might keep it yellow. I don't know. If I do keep it yellow, we'll go ahead and throw one more coat on here. Might change my mind. It's been known to happen before. Could do some gold splatter instead too. That might be fun. Alright. Just looking at it in the camera, I'm like, ooh, this yellow is really making it pop. And then because that yellow is such a small area, I'm not going to bother too much with it. I'll just lightly get it. And then let me get the extra yellow and move this over to the fan for just a second. And then, like I said, this is just yellow. There's no funny name to it, it's just yellow. Trying to debate. I think we're gonna go with doing the dots, and then we'll do the black, because after that we can do the lining. So I'm thinking for the dots, it might be really fun to do the Palomino. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do Palomino. So I do have a little bit in here, but we're obviously gonna need a lot more. And what do you guys think? Should we do large, medium, or small on the daubers? On what circles? So this one would be the large. Oops. That one would be the big large one. So big, big, huge polka dots. Hey Susan. This one's the medium. So you can see about that size. Or we can go with a little bit smaller, and that one would be the small. So small, medium, or large. Guys, let me know what you think. Oh goodness. Thank you, Kathy. Let me know. Come on, paint with me, guys. This is your project too. And I know there's a delay. What about all three? We could. Am I early? No, Miss Johnny. Nope. I start at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Maybe you got confused because of thinking because I'm in Central. Medium and some small ones? Okay, we can do that. Okay, dauber. We'll do the small first. So you're gonna grab some paint like this. Let me move this out of the way. Just knowing me, I know I'm gonna like do something, drop the plate backwards, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, so we're gonna get this nice and loaded, like so. We're gonna scrape it off, okay? And then we're gonna kind of create our own little pattern here. So we're just making big size triangles almost. Okay. That one's gonna be off, that one would be off. This one, about right here. Okay. Do one right there, one right here, one right there, and we'll do a big one right there. Okay, let's go one more time back through. We'll kind of try and clean these up just a little bit. Add just a little more paint. I do like to come back in with a paintbrush and kind of touch up a little bit, but this gives you a really good template for your circle to work off of. So that's why I still like to use them. My herd of elephants. Sorry if you guys can hear my dogs running around. Okay, so the small dauber is done. We'll go ahead and go with the medium. So as I'm doing it, I'm kind of pushing down, getting the paint nice and loaded in there, swishing it off. Okay, go right here with one. I'm gonna go right there, right here, maybe one right here. Oh, I'm loving this. I love seeing it when you're on the camera sometimes. It gives you a different perspective of what you're doing. Let's go right here. Grab a little bit of the extra paint we got there. I'm gonna go right here. And someone, we need something right there. And I think we're good. Okay, I'm gonna throw these daubers in my water. Actually, I'm gonna keep this big one for a second. Go one more time. Okay. So we just I kind of did rando, tried to do a little bit of polka dots. I do too. Polka dots are my favorite. I love polka dots. A lot of my pieces have polka dots. Polka dots or stripes. I like black and white stripes. I really love cheetah print. It's so fun to paint. You'll see me teach that a lot just because I love it. And it's really easy to paint. A lot of people get intimidated of it, and you shouldn't. Okay, so I'm going to use the bigger brush here. This is the 3/8 angle brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and kind of clean up our dots just a little bit. When you use the dauber, it does give just a little bit of a texture to it because it's a sponge. So it gives that spongy texture. And you can put it by some heat or by a fan, and a lot of the time it will pop out the little bubbles. But there's a little bit of a shadowing that appears with it that I am not super in love with. So that's why I go with, that's why I paint just a little bit on it. Thank you. Hey, Eloise. You are fine. Don't worry about it at all. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm just loading the brush, kind of just moving around the paint too. Getting a good, nice look on it. Same thing, kind of just doing the arches. And because we have a darker background, we'll probably have to do 2 coats of this, but that's okay. We'll get the heat gun out and get it nice and good. All right. Now, I know a lot of people that do paint that will just add a ton of paint onto their dauber and do it that way, but like I said, I just don't, I think it looks a little sloppy in my opinion, so I take the time to kind of thin it out a little bit. So like I said, I'm always using the light heat setting on my paint gun and moving pretty fast with it, so that the paint won't bubble. All right, and then like I said too, with green can be really funny, it can be really tricky. Because that first time you paint it, it will look really splotchy. Then you go in with that second coat and it just makes everything look perfect. Like, I'll show you the difference. Here is the second coat. That one's up 1 coat. You can see that it looks really splotchy. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. All right. And then just for you guys to know too, when you get these templates from me, they are original. I hand drew them and everything else. So they're not like anybody else's in that regards. I may have gotten inspired from something, but they are my personal drawings that I am giving to you guys. So just an FYI. And you guys are free to do with them whatever you like. I think this would be really fun to go with stripes instead of polka dots, you know, or anything else. You could do a black hat with splatter. Oh, that would be really cute. Okay, one more time here with this one. Ooh, you guys, I can smell heavy cooking. Smells are getting to me. All right, gonna let that dry. Just cleaning out my brush real quick here. Grab my palette. And you guys, I don't think I'm gonna go with the metallic gold. I really like how the yellow is looking. And we're gonna leave it yellow. All right, so I'm gonna go with some black, and we're gonna paint the ribbon or the, I don't know, the band around the hat. That's what we're gonna call it. Alright, just cleaning this brush. Okay, so going with that 3/8 angle brush again. This brush has kind of become my friend. I really like this size, especially when it comes to the wreath hanger size. These are awesome. Door hanger size, I usually stick with 1 inch to that 3/4 inch when I'm painting a little bit bigger. Alright. Sorry, I got a message and my phone will keep making that sound until I clear it. So let me clear it real quick. We have a family group text that's going on, and I'm so excited. I know this is bad to say, but this needed to happen a long time ago. My husband's sister was in a not physically abusive, but very emotional and mentally abusive relationship for years, and she finally today filed her divorce papers to get away from her husband. So I'm really, really happy for her. Today's a good day. So I'm sorry if my phone starts going crazy. I forgot to put it on silent. Alright, so we're just getting this square. Same thing, just doing the arches on the that we did with the buckle, but reversing it. And then we're going to just smooth it out. One thing that with black that's so fun is it's one and done. Love black for that one reason. One and done. Alright, we're just going to straight kind of pull it off of our edge there. Good for her. I know. I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. She was so scared to do it. But, I mean, she has been needing to do it for years. So we're so happy. All right. I mean, I'm not a big person that believes in divorce, but when divorce needs to happen, it needs to happen for sure. Okay. There we go. I'm going to just get this edge. You guys, I am the worst at remembering my edges. I've gotten a lot better, but I will be like double checking my piece sometimes because I'll get done with the color and then go to something else, get all the color put away, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot this little tiny spot. So, I know, I'm so happy for her. I'm so excited. My husband is overjoyed. It's hard because she lives in a different state from us. We actually live away from all of our family. Our family is in Utah. That's where I'm originally from. So it's been hard being here and hearing all of it. So I'm so proud of her. Now if we can just convince her to move to North Carolina with us, whenever that happens. No date yet, guys. But one day. Okay, I just saw a little piece of white popping through. So there that is. You can see that. Okay, so you can see right here when we get really close up, you can see that we've got some overage and everything else. We're going to make that look amazing because we're going to start doing detail lines. So what I'm going to do is, because we're doing the detail lines, I like to water down my paints a lot. So Sorry, you guys. Let me put this on silent because I can hear it just going. Okay. There we go. Let me get my detail brush. I have a 2/0 liner brush. We're gonna mix the paint. So we want it runny, but yet kind of thick in consistency. So you can kind of see that. That's the kind of what we want for the black right now. And yes, I do lick the tips of my brushes. I try so hard not to, and I used to, and now I'm just like, screw it. That's what I do. You just get a little love for me. So what we're doing is we're just going around, kind of cleaning up our edges, but like a coloring book, we're adding those coloring lines back into the project. And this really does make a huge difference with your project because it makes it kind of bold. You can see what's going on a little bit more because of it. I don't like how that looks there. There we go. Same thing here. Ooh, you guys, I kind of got a fun idea. We might do something. I'm like so Bob Rossing it tonight. Thank you, Susan. Do you want me to send you one your way? It'd be kind of fun to see what you do with it, what you create. I love seeing what Susan creates. All right. So I'm just gonna go right here with that shamrock. Same here. All right, one will be in the mail for you. Susan gets happy mail. All right, one more here. Uh-oh, you guys. I got some black. Now, I could show you what I do if it doesn't come off, which it's not going to. So we're going to show you how Rachel fixes boo-boos like that. We add a little cute ziggy-zag and we cover it up. Now you can't see the paint there. I'm feeling generous tonight. I'm happy. Yeah, I'll send it to you, girl. I'm sure that everybody will love seeing a design from you with it. All right. Same here, we're gonna go right here. Gonna add a little ziggy zag. I did not put my hand in paint there, but I love adding these little ziggy zags. It makes life fun. Thank you. And I don't like to get straight to the edge when I'm doing these detail lines. I think it just looks more whimsy and kind of more dimensional if you don't. So there's that. Let's do the buckle. I should have done the buckle before I did the outline. We might be adding more zigzags to hide my boo-boos. Okay. There we go. I'm not going to worry too much right there. I have a really good crisp line. And now if you didn't, this would be a perfect time to fix that. But I'm pretty good and pretty happy with what I have there, so I'm not going to waste my time with it. But now, when you look at it, you can see that we can't see the paint overages or any of that kind of stuff. It really hides all of that for us. I forgot right here. And it kind of just makes it a little fun. I'm going to add a little fun there too. And we're going to add some right there. I should have put a dot there. Okay. So now, for you to have a little more fun. White is by far my favorite to add. It really makes things fun. So, just going to put a little bit of white in my palette. Grab that liner brush again. And we're just going to add just a little bit of highlighting. This really makes things kind of have fun. Makes everything really pop. We'll even add a little bit of white to the hat there. I'm gonna add a zigzag there. Woo! Got a little crazy there. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to the polka dots too, just to give some more fun to it. Now, if you guys are just, you like watching me paint, but that ain't your jam, but you really like this, I do have this in my shop as well for you guys. And then I do offer the Cubby discount. So just an FYI. Or if you're a little bit scared of cutting out your own template, I have the blanks listed as well. I don't have this one listed yet, but I'll probably have it by the end of the week. There. This one. Okay, same thing right here. I'm going to just add a little bit of white there. We'll add a little bit to the hat. And we're going to make the buckle look a little shiny. So I just did a little zigzag. And I kind of want it to arch itself. And right there. And then maybe one right there. There we go. Here. And like that. Okay. See what I mean with the white? Just, it makes it pop. I think that just like bam, right? Okay. So now I'm not sure what I want to do. We can do glitter and just kind of shake it all over. We can do the buckle black and do glitter on the buckle. Thank you, Susan. You're so sweet. What do you guys think for glitter? I could do the buckle gold as well. I could do splatter of the metallic. I need some shimmer. I love shimmer. I like the glitter. What do y'all think? We could even do one of the shamrocks. We could do the shamrock green too. And do the shamrock green. We're painting together, guys. What do you say? If we get black, I'll grab the black glitter too. I know there's a big lag, so like huge. What are we thinking? Not seeing anything. Buckle and shamrock? Okay. Okay. Let me see here. I need to put my baby wipes away before they go out. Okay. Okay, black in the shamrock. Okay. You can do that. Okay. Let me turn off my heater. I've done that before where I've forgotten to turn off the heater, and boy was I a sorry mess. Let me grab my Mod Podge. Alright, I'm going to grab one of my cheap brushes. You can also use one of your brushes that's kind of beat up a little bit more, an older brush. Just don't use one of your nice ones because you're basically infusing glue into your brush, which ain't good. Alright, I might have added too much Mod. I think I did. It's all good though. Okay, get it cleaned up. I am a like heavy hander. I can work a little heavy. And shamrock, okay. I'm glad we are all on the same page. Guys, I need you guys down here when I'm like painting at 3 in the morning and I'm like, crap, what am I needing to do? A lot of the time what I do too is I will print off the template and color it. Just to kind of give myself a basic idea of what I want. Alright, so we're pouring the glitter on. I'm gonna flip it over, pat it, and I promise those lines of detail that we did are gonna come back. Do you want me to show you how? Let me put this brush right here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just take my embossing tool and I'm gonna scratch off where we painted. I'm on a live. All right, so we're gonna just do right here. The hubby's down here. I thought it was a kid for a minute.
She's ashamed.
I'm not ashamed, but that will pull it so that you can see those highlights that we did before. You can come over and say hi to them.
I just need to use my saw.
Oh. Okay. So push that over. Thank you, Eloise. You're so awesome. Okay, light glitter. I think I'm gonna go with the lighter of this one. All right. I'm just putting the glitter on, or the Mod Podge on. I had a ton left on my paintbrush, so I'm not too worried. I'll shake that off. Oops, I should have put more on. I guess I was supposed to be more worried. So it didn't come out too good. What we'll do is let it dry just a little bit, but I will take my highlight or my embosser and pull this up because we don't want the glue to dry too much on our detail lines. Give me just a second and I'll show you what, if you didn't have enough of the glitter and it's really patchy the way that it's showing, what you can do. All right, so we're gonna hit the heat gun just a minute with it. And we'll just take a little bit more of the Mod. Just a little dot. And we'll just go right back over the whole thing. Sometimes this requires just a little bit more Mod Podge because the glitter takes up a little bit.
It just sneezes. I think that's like hitting the floor.
Yeah, it does, but it's normal. Well, it's at least normal of what I always hear. The girls are taking a bath, and I swear, I did not realize the noises that would be over here from where I moved from. So obviously I work in the basement, but I used to work on the other side, which is a little bit smaller. And I moved over here, and oh my gosh, the sounds are so crazy. Okay, so now when we do it, you can also like pat it down if you're worried. Okay, much better. So it's not as patchy now. And we'll come back in with the embossing tool and just hit where we did those highlights. And it will bring those highlights right back up. Don't turn that on. So there's that. I'll flip it for you guys. He's waiting on me to use the saw.
Yeah, so hurry up.
We're almost done, believe it or not. Let me flip views here. Okay, so there it is. This is about, this is 11.5 by 8.5. So you can see it's pretty big. It's a little bit bigger than a normal sheet of paper, but the size of a sketch paper it would fit. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. So like I said, the template is included in the link above if you guys want that, or if you want a cutout or it actually painted, you can go ahead and go to the shop. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and watching. And then if you guys have any questions or want a bigger tutorial on something, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it for you guys. So I will see you all later. Thanks, Susan. Thanks, Linda. Bye, guys.